Yo, 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 what is up, my dudes? Welcome back to Monogatari, Hanamonogatari, episode 4.
Yuri Monogatari.
Oh, I can't understand either of you speaking over each other. Okay.
Monogatari.
Moving on. Hopefully this time we're gonna get the other half of the story that we got cliffhanged on last episode.
No,
that was a dick move, Nisio, you see.
They're just gonna ignore it and move on.
Oh my god. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I know what happens exactly, obviously. Also, I don't remember Hana very well. Anyways, guys,
Nice.
you already know what to do. Open up your own copy of the episode and stick it up with the timer that's going to appear within Kiwi's hands at the end of my countdown.
If you
I'm going to start the episode
your pants.
in 3, 2, 1, play. A bit loud for me. Go down. There we go. This reminds me of the ED for
Kekai Sensen.
Kekai Sensen, yeah. I was trying to think of the English name, but I couldn't remember it.
I can't
Blockade
say
Battlefront?
too many bees.
Oh yeah.
I get tongue-tied every time. Then for season 2 they added another bees. Bees nuts?
Oh no, Q's connecting the bees to that.
Shh, don't say the letter, please. That's fair. It is the worst letter of the alphabet. That letter is not the worst letter of the alphabet. What are you talking about? It is. It is not.
It's I can't imagine being told that I won't be able to walk for the rest of my life.
No, yeah, that would be rough. It would be rough.
I'm glad I was able to pull back your attention to Monogatari.
The spiraling in the bees. I like that they're using the ending art style.
Yeah. We need more of it.
Yes, I love it. I want the fat-looking bastards in Kaiki's art style back, though.
The what?
Yeah, what?
Oh,
I like
Kaiki
in that art style. That looks cool.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think this is exactly the ED art style. This is a little different.
It looks like it's similar, but yeah, slightly different.
Because yeah, that's not Kaiki's design in the ED.
It's the same like inking style. So I don't know if it's the same artist or a different artist mimicking the ending style.
If you guys know, let us know.
Actually, this does give strong Kekai Sensen vibes. I picture I forget her name in the wheelchair.
Oh yeah. That is true. Kaiki looks a lot more like a vampire in this art style.
Yeah, I thought butterfly.
Butterfly?
Yeah.
Well, that's...
His coattail looks like butterfly wings.
Okay, I see.
And
there were butterflies last episode.
And I thought of a math, so everyone has a different perspective with Kaiki, I guess. This art style. Oh, Kaiki in this art style, yeah, not like Kaiki as a character. I'm sorry, I should have specified that. No, I just see Kaiki in general as a butterfly. It's beautiful, just waiting for him to spread his wings.
So in the end, it was Kaiki who led her down this path, kinda.
Yeah.
Well, we learned...
The last several arcs, like, almost most of the arcs, Kaiki's had some finger in pushing the progression, whether it was intended or not.
I mean, for Koi, it was kind of like Kaiki was forced into the situation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Whether he intended to be a part of it or not, he has had an integral part of like moving him forward, kind of.
Mostly because reason he was in Koi was because Ogi pushed Nanako, and then Nanako kind of forced Senjugahara's hand into getting Kaiki. Man,
Again, there's kind of a reciprocal relationship between Ogi and Kaiki. They're both kind of there, whether it's in the background or foreground, pushing things, and they're like the opposite. Because while Kaiki wants to be the bad guy, he's actually a good guy, and Ogi's the opposite, at least from what we've seen.
yeah. Speaking in general terms,
Yeah. Not like
because,
there's no real good guys and bad guys in this. We had a whole
yeah,
arc
there are
on that.
no. The only absolute thing is that there are no absolutes.
Kind of, I guess, general like making. Speaking of like their end goals, more or less.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are no absolutes, so we don't know what Ogi's end goal is.
That's correct. I don't have any idea what Ogi's end goal. That's just been what it has appeared on the surface.
Anadori Roka. This has no relation to Numachi Roka, apparently.
I like this kind of shadow puppet style. Again, lots of art styles in this episode.
Mm-hmm. Oof. Well,
This art style is kind of almost giving Utena vibes.
oh, really? Need to watch that.
Mm.
Hmm. Man, like, speaking of teenage pregnancy, why can't people just keep it in their pants, man?
I am sorry, but this reminds me of there's like this one Vocaloid song about two lesbians and an
Oh,
apple.
wow. I guess that's fitting.
It has the same art style, and it's basically about an angel girl falling in love with a human girl that was promised to someone else, and ended up.
We're still sticking strong with the Utena vibes. I see.
I see. But do you remember the name of said song, Kiwi?
You can search it up. It's like a mix of Cinderella's Apple and that song. Let me.
Cinderella's Apple.
Snow White.
Snow White?
That's racist.
Oh, yeah. Well, sorry, that was a name. We didn't think of it as a word.
we both did it too.
Yeah. You can search it up after the episode, Kiwi.
Yeah, I'll do that. Because there are two that fit the art style like really well, and I love both of the songs. I'll tell you about the plot of the songs later, because both of them have a similar plot, but
why does she keep
different at the
talking
same time.
about the Persona 4 protagonist, Zero?
Well, you know, it just happens that a Monogatari and Persona had a crossover. The man, Kaiki-chan, is trying his best to save people, you know?
Yeah.
He does his best every Saturday at 7 a.m. PDT. Oh, yeah, I think
these
it's
colorful hoops.
is Roka Numachi.
Mhm.
I guess it's a blessing.
Oof.
The hoops just make me think of like we're doing some mental gymnastics here or something.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I guess gymnastics. I'm trying to figure out like what they are, what they're for.
Yeah, what they're
But
representing
they're
here.
like the way that they're like laid out makes no sense for like any sort of.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they're all over the place. Oh, they're changing too.
They're too low.
Maybe by looking through them, you'll see a new perspective, perhaps? Hmm.
But we haven't looked through any of them.
Yeah. We also have this like bridged kind of structure looking thing in the foreground here.
Yeah, that last shot was like they were trying to make a cityscape out of the gym equipment, but I don't.
Hmm.
it it's a weird shot.
Oh my
It's
god,
not my
it's
favorite.
big gym equipment.
It's very busy and mismatched. Yeah, I'm confused by this shot.
Yeah, I can't really say what they're trying to go for here. Got to do a bit of research.
Everything is just cluttered. Yeah, I don't know if that's the intention or if it just is.
Maybe it's Kanbaru's state of mind.
Confused and cluttered. I'm there with her then.
Well, that left off on a sour note.
That would be really hard, actually, unbuttoning a shirt that you're lying on top of with one hand.
But I do get the vibe. Like, I don't even want to move anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Get this off me. Oh.
I mean, she left her under on. That's an improvement over some past shots.
Yeah, that's true. Usually she'd be lying naked in this position.
A bed of books would be really uncomfortable.
Don't worry, they're BL. They're soft BL.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
Means no sex. Jesus Christ.
No sex in this bed.
No sex. Or they have sex, but it's very vanilla.
That's a twist.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Or a devil. Kaiki the Asian.
When you don't know what the fuck is going on, you go back to your roots. But yeah, I was talking about it a little of how like if sports is your life and then you get injured, it's just for a lot of people it's hard to see where you're supposed to go from there. Especially if you break your leg and you're unable to walk for the rest of your life. It's
I mean, art's similar. There's a lot of artists that fuck up their hands, and then it's like, well, now what?
yeah. When you have a passion but you're unable to do it, it kind of feels meaningless, you know.
Mhm.
Mm.
Eh.
Says Kiwi with broken arms and still drawing.
Yeah, I mean, if you give up, then you like lost where you can't do anything anymore.
I mean, there's
It's
a
mostly
balance
like,
because sometimes if you're like injured, but you can like stop, you can heal. But the people who can't
yeah,
stop then hurt themselves worse.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I had to stop for like 3 years for my hand to heal.
Yeah.
Also, the music I was playing when Kanbaru was running kind of remind me a
Mhm.
little bit of Made in Abyss. I thought Kevin Penkin was on the track.
Just kind of atmospheric, yeah.
Yeah, at a literal crossroads in her life now.
Think- Wasn't she at this crossroads before, or am I making that up?
The person who was at a similar crossroads before was Hanakawa. It was a different
Yeah.
one, but yeah, they had the
Okay,
same shot.
gotcha. I was gonna say, I felt like we saw this literal crossroads before. Cool. Boob shot. Oh,
Araragi driving.
Araragi! Well, he has his hair grown out too.
The boy.
I
Why
like
does
the
he
long hair.
look? I hate the long hair.
What? How dare you? I like it.
Bicycle is my life.
Oh, he has the like thumb holes in his shirt. Those are my favorite.
Oh my gosh, he looks so mature now. I hate it.
What?
Why are you being so crit? Oh. Araragi's a Mini Cooper kind of guy.
No, I like his look.
Yeah, I like his
Yeah, I
little
do
car.
too.
I just hate his hair.
No, that's fine. I'll take Koyomi. He can be mine.
That's true. I just love their relationship with each other. They're such good
Yeah,
friends.
it's always been good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe from this shot it looks kind of good. But still.
No, back off, Q. You've said your part.
Then you can draw the beautiful Aragia's thumbnail this time around.
I can try. I'm struggling drawing without my tablet.
Okay, then I'll just draw him. And then he can be mine.
No. Of course I'm lonely.
That's true. It was underground topics. Can't exactly talk about them with Senjo Gohara, right?
Oh my gosh. My voice changer turned off. Oh no. Oh no, no, no.
Yeah, look, Araragi grew up into a wise man. He certainly does have the cut for that. Plays Sage.
Why are you insulting Sage?
What?
Shut up, Kiwi. Tori doesn't even get it because she doesn't play Valorant.
All your inside jokes.
Yeah.
Well, when you guys reference something that I haven't watched, I'm just there. Enjoying my time with you guys, and you do. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That's true.
This haircut's reminding me of someone, but I can't think of who, and it's bothering me.
I love the Shinobu keychain.
Yeah, it was
Bleach
super
character.
cute. No.
She reminds me of Byakuya.
Oh, those are Numachi's words.
Ow. I just cracked my toes and my back cracked.
I thought you were reacting to Araragi's words stinging you, but I guess not.
No.
Immediate answer. Of course. Oh my god, why are the episodes so short? Goddamn.
That was quite a good episode. I liked it quite a bit.
It's just so cute. You know, seeing Araragi and Kanbaru together. The bros.
Yeah. No, I always love it when they're on screen together. I was struggling with this episode till Koyomi showed up.
University Koyomi hitting kind of different. Dude's
Yeah,
been through some
I
shit.
like it. I like it.
Oh wait, you could even see his little car in the ED. I just noticed that. His little yellow Mini Cooper.
Isn't it? It's a bug, not a Cooper.
Ah, I see. Well, I don't know cars.
I don't know cars either, but I'm pretty sure that's a Volkswagen bug. Because our
Volkswagen.
neighbors growing up, all they did was Volkswagen cars. Like that was their specialty.
Ah, I see.
They fixed up Volkswagens.
All I know is that it's certainly not a sports car that Araragi said he wanted.
So there was lots of bugs and the weird van things in their yard.
It turns out that the person we've been speaking to this entire time, Numachi Roka, has in fact already game ended herself 3 years ago.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
But I mean, in Monogatari terms, this is a more like Hajikuji's story, where there's a twist where we find out the person we've been talking to is dead all along and may or may not have been the aberration this entire time.
Yeah, I'm a little mad that they killed off Best Girl Ghost and have replaced her with Worst Girl Ghost.
Worst girl? That's kind of harsh. I mean...
So far I have zero attachment to this character, I'm sorry.
Well, we haven't really... She hasn't been a main character in this series. She just kind of showed up here. Yeah.
I guess I'm the only
even
one.
if I ignore that, I can't get into this character. I don't know. I'm struggling. I'm struggling, guys. I'm trying.
I guess I'm the only one that actually really likes the character.
I think there's interesting beats to this story. It's just not told in a way that I find very interesting. But I'm trying really hard.
I think that I like her character a lot because I find her relatable in a way that as someone who also got an injury that stopped her from doing something that she liked and had to switch to something else. So I find her more relatable, and thus I find her more intriguing and more interesting, and I connect to her faster. Because like I did not consider game ending myself when I found out about my arm being hurt and not being able to play volleyball, because I instantly had a chance to switch to art. But I can say that I was not in a really bad state during the 3 years when I could not do anything with my right arm. Like I could not eat myself with the right arm.
And I mean, for her, it was her leg, so it inhabits her ability to move anywhere. I mean, more recently, you've also experienced this, haven't you, Kiwi? Being unable to move.
Not being able to walk. That's so terrifying. Not feeling the bottom of your legs completely ruins like a whole bunch of everything. You can't walk, you can't stand, you can't even sit down without actually injuring yourself in some way, because I don't sit down like a normal person. I sit down like a fucking gremlin, where my legs always have to be up and never down on the floor. So that was like super scary and uncomfortable. So I've experienced not feeling my legs and arms twice in my life.
Not sure if this is just me, but I find that being able to move your body, and especially running, kind of helps clear the air for me. Like, it helps clear my mind a lot.
For that same reason.
I'm different than that because I hate running more than anything else. It makes me feel pain in my lungs and whole body, and I hate it. It doesn't clear anything. Kind of it just makes me more stressed. It makes me more stressed.
Like, right now, healing from surgery, right? Not being able to move exactly the way you want to is always frustrating.
I like using drawing or sitting down and relaxing much more to clear my mind than running. I hate running or moving my body in general.
Well, I mean, I can say for probably most athletes out there that running is what you do when you want to just stop thinking about everything else and worrying. And that's exactly what Kanbaru did here when she didn't really know what the fuck was going on anymore. The person she had been talking to was a ghost this entire time. So, you know what? I'm just gonna go out and run. And my oh my, does she run into the perfect person to help clear her mind from this. Araragi finally makes a return. After how many episodes of no Araragi doing anything, you know?
And he comes back with the best haircut. He's never looked this good.
Look at the boy.
I am conflicted. I'm conflicted about his hairstyle. I hate it, but I like it at the same time, okay? I am a weird person.
I like the whole look. I'm a big fan.
I like the look. I just wish he kept his short hair.
And I always think it's funny when when guys who want so hard to be cool have dinky little cars. It cracks me up.
I think little cars are awesome. I don't know what you mean.
I think my problem, really, I realized it when Araragi showed up. Because the two of them have great chemistry back and forth. Their conversation is engaging and interesting, so even if there's not a whole lot happening on screen, I can stay connected to it. For me, for some reason, with Roka and Kanbaru, I don't, there's nothing engaging about the conversation for me. So it's just a long amount of talking or in previous episodes, just not a whole lot of visualing. They're just kind of standing there. And then in this episode, they just made it kind of a cluttered mess on screen. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at. There's nothing to focus on. The conversation isn't interesting. The visuals aren't interesting. And while I don't dislike the story that's being told, like the actual story is interesting and I want to focus on it so bad, I don't like the presentation of it. And that's what I'm realizing.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that part. For me, I just like knowing more about I just like knowing more about Roka. I have not really cared about the presentation and everything from the very beginning. So yeah, I agree
someone
with
who
you.
struggles with just pure dialogue in anime in general, just because I'm dyslexic and I have an attention disorder that I just can't focus very well. It was built against me.
Yeah, I agree with you on the presentation and everything else being kind of meh.
That's why I'm struggling though, because I really do like the story that's being presented, so I'm really trying to just focus and read.
I feel like we enjoy conversations between Araragi and Kanbaru more because you can just sense like the emotional connection that these two characters have. And the way that they interact with each other and the way that Nishio has written them, they obviously present this emotional connection that they have. Whereas in the case of Roka and Kanbaru, I feel like it might almost be intentional because even with the cinematography and everything, it's always kind of showing that Kanbaru just can't really connect with Numachi at all. Yeah. She feels super conflicted with what Numachi is saying. Yeah.
And I think the same with like the visual clutter. I feel like it is intentional. I just don't think it's a good.
Yeah, it's not very engaging. I think.
Monogatari has done so many amazing things, both with its like cinematography and writing, and I feel like this is probably one of the weaker moments for it. That's just my personal opinion for it, obviously. And if someone like can explain to me exactly how the cinematography is meant to be read, because I'm struggling. Like I can usually, piece together something from how it's presenting, but I can't come up with a whole lot good for this one. So to have that explained might help too, if someone knows. But
actually, let me go back to that scene. Was it? Oh yeah, right here.
I love that like shadow puppet art style. That was really cool. That was the highlight for me.
I do think that Hana kind of has like the most changes in like stylistics choices, I think, where we get
We've
like
had a few arcs in
new
the past that jumped around a bunch, but
we do, but I don't remember anything being like this frequent. Just in this one episode.
That stands out to me was one of the other ones that I struggled with Shinobu's backstory and stuff like that.
Ah, yeah, Shinobu's backstory where we went to like the kind of old Japanese painting art style. Yeah,
that arc kind of jumped around a little bit too with art styles, which I love when Monogatari plays with art styles, so I'm a fan of that.
But I do think that in this particular shot, my only guess here is that it's kind of Kanbaru's state of mind where she's super conflicted with what she's saying, and so she doesn't really know what to do, and thus the shot is just super cluttered and very messy. There's nothing organized here. That's what I feel like
because when you look at like how you want to build a scene for like visual balance and like focal point and contrast and all that, there's no focal point here. There's nowhere for your eye to rest. It's just a cluttered visual mess, which obviously bothers me a lot. This was actually the main reason I hated the Bloodlet anime adaptation, because every shot was like this.
Oh my god.
It was a bright, colorful, visual, chaotic mess, and I hated it so much. But with nowhere for your eye to rest, I feel like that's intentional on their part. At least I hope it is. But at the same time, it's intentionally being uncomfortable to look at, which means I hate looking at it.
Yeah, I think it is intentional, since throughout the entire series, when it comes out to like these far away shots, there have always been leading lines that help us focus on where the characters are on the screen.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's just really hard to find where they are unless if you look very closely.
Like when you look at the rules of contrast, which are what help you create a visual point of interest, right?
Yeah.
You have several things that will make contrast. So the brightest bright next to the darkest dark is going to have your first point of interest. Like that is the strongest. Your eye will always be drawn there where you have those two things touching. Second to that is complementary colors. So things like blue and orange, green and red, right?
Yeah.
Colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. They have a very strong presence that will immediately draw your eye when they touch. The second is visual, like clutter, basically. If you have something that's very cluttered next to something that has no clutter, your eye is going to be drawn there. This has no visual contrast for any of those three things. There's literally nowhere for your eye to rest.
Yeah, it's got to be intentional, right? Because they break every single rule here.
Yeah. But I hate looking at it. Like even the previous shots with like the hoops hanging down and stuff, those hoops break things up, or at least they don't break things up, right? They just create clutter everywhere. So this is the worst shot of it that we're looking at here, but every shot in this gym so far has been just a chaotic mess with nowhere to rest your eye.
Araragi here kind of stepping in and giving the old man advice to Kanbaru, kind of helping her out of this rut, and I think like organizing her mind a little bit so that she knows where to go from here.
That was kind of like a big brother advice.
They've always been homies, but obviously Araragi is her senpai still, and she views him as that, he views himself as that. Hopefully with his newfound advice and new confidence, Kanbaru can kind of face her problem right here with all three people actually that she mentioned, being Numachi, her mother, and Kaiki.
Yeah, she feels lost, and so when you introduce Araragi back into the scene, it's like he is that stability, he is that focal point for her to just kind of reground herself, it seems like.
I find it quite funny that Araragi is the one providing stability out of all the characters in the show, but
I mean,
wasn't
that's
she
kind of always been
chasing-
his role. He's just been maturing in his ability to fulfill that role, I think.
Wasn't she kind of chasing her senpais of Shinjukuhara and Araragi at the beginning of the series? She was saying like, "Oh, I want to graduate," and so on. I'm sitting at the same desk as Araragi senpai, and so on. You know, she's always seen them as kind of like the leading roles as her senpais. Someone to be admired, someone to be relied on. So I don't really find it all that weird.
Yeah, I don't find it weird. It's just that from our perspective, with how Araragi has been acting throughout the entire series, it's very jarring to see him in this kind of position. But yeah, characters grow. People go through stuff and they learn. And Araragi is kind
I call
of
it jarring. It is a bit of a jump, but like we've been jumping around in the timeline, so.
And I mean, this is from Kanbaru's perspective. And from Kanbaru's perspective, maybe Araragi is like a super mature, super cool, big brother figure. And to us, he's
That's
just
true.
a little perverted brat.
Yeah.
I mean, the words that Araragi is saying, I feel like it would be appropriate for someone in like Oshino's role at the start of the series. And
I've said
Araragi
from the
is
very
kinda...
beginning, Zero.
He traveled back in time. Yeah. Araragi is Oshino.
No, yeah, I think the series has been building him to take over kind of that role, and he's obviously throughout each arc chronologically, you know, growing into that role. And he is young and immature and stuff, so he's stumbled and done stupid shit. But I feel like him reaching this point makes sense.
For the final episode, what do you think Kanbaru will do to solve this problem that she has with Numachi?
I think there's going to be a lot of talking.
Wow! How could you guess? Oh my goodness! Big brain!
So I'm imagining that she's probably going to go to Kaiki and ask him to like kind of connect her to the devil girl and talk to her again, talk it all out and so on. Because the way that like the conversation ended was kind of one-sided, where Reiko just was like, yeah, you should go and live a good life I couldn't live, or something like that, right? So I'm thinking that we'll go like that so that Reiko can kind of move on from the past in a good way.
By the way, it's Roka.
Roka, I'm sorry. I'm mixing her up with someone else.
Yeah.
I think the Kanbaru is going to take on the monkey and hand paw back. I think she's going to take on her message, or like her wish to
You got the
live
wrong
on.
vowel.
Yeah, to her message to live on and everything else, and take on her job. Like, that's what I think.
I think we're gonna have a moment of Kanbaru kind of finally coming to her own terms of like what she feels and what she wants, because leading up to this has kind of just been her getting lost in herself and not knowing how she feels. But I think once she finally does kind of come to those conclusions, she'll reconfront her and maybe help her, find peace in and of herself, because I think both characters have been kind of floundering, looking for, I want to say stability, but that's not really the word I'm looking for. Like, I'm struggling to find the words.
Understanding of themselves.
Yeah. And so I think with Kanbaru being able to find her place, she'll maybe be able to help Numachi in finding her place and maybe passing on. I have no idea with the monkey paw. Like, I didn't even consider that till Q said it.
I mean,
I could see it going either way on that. I don't know.
I don't know that. I don't think that she can pass on with the monkey paw still with her, because that was gifted to Kanbaru by her mom. That's what I'm like. Why I'm assuming that Kanbaru is going to get it back and continue on.
For Numachi's story, both the arm and the leg are pretty impactful. Do you think she would take both of them to help Numachi?
I mean, Numachi died without being able to walk. Why not let her pass on with the acceptance of you were not able to walk, and thus you should accept it and go forward with it? Because Numachi is kind of stuck in the position of, I could not move on from having to quit this thing that I really liked. I was so depressed about it and everything that was going on at home because of the situation with the leg. Thus, I took my life, kind of thing. That's where Numachi is stuck. So basically, what I'm thinking is that Kanbaru is going to take on the pain of it to let her pass on to accept her situation and so on. Thus, she will end up with the monkey leg and monkey arm. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I
can see it that way. I also feel a little conflicted with that, because that's basically kind of reciprocating what Numachi did in the beginning, which wasn't great. So I'm like,
yeah, I mean, maybe that's where Kaiki will come in, because she's 100% going to see Kaiki.
We'll maybe end up with Kanbaru retaking the arm and Numachi finishing with the leg, and they'll both kind of come to terms with their own.
Yeah, I can see that happening as well.
Decisions. And having to kind of live with those decisions, but
live with those decisions.
Well, one of them will. But to find peace with that and realize maybe that that wasn't the right choice, but to go forward with how they should. I'm really not being very literate today. I am struggling with words. I apologize.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it, Survey. I am asking quite hard questions here. But I guess we'll leave it off at that.
I'm excited to see what it actually is, yeah.
If you made it here, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and until next week, later, my dudes.
Bye.